Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another TV watch party live stream with classic public access shows from the 80s and 90s. We are here on a Tuesday. We're normally going to be doing these on Monday nights, but figured why try to do it on St. Patrick's Day when people might be out partying, maybe. Anyway, thank you, everyone who is already joining us here in chat. Michael Tomorrow. Michael Zubek out in Chicago. Hey, Michael Zubek out in Chicago. I was out there working for a little while at Harpo, actually. Hi, Chris Bungo's Studios. Looking forward to what we've got in store today. We've got great stuff in store today, Chris Bungo. So it's good you're here, and it's good that all of you are here. And Cesorde says, need more David. All right, we'll work on that, Cesorde. Skyscraper Television says, hi. Matthew Fuller says, I guess I'll always refer to Irene Rich as the one who got away, but that's a story for another time. So Matthew was referring to the great Irene Rich that we were watching on one of our earlier TV watch parties. I don't think we'll be looking at any Irene Rich tonight, Matthew. I hope that's not too disappointing for you. But we do have lots of other greats that you are going to see. And I thought we'd get started. Urban Legend is saying hello from Orlando. Hi, Urban Legend down there in Orlando. Paul Brueggemann is saying good evening, sir. Hi, Paul. And Chuck is checking in from Nebraska. Awesome. Chuck, welcome from Nebraska. So anyway, the first clip we're going to look at is from something called the Companion Animals Network. And this was a little play that was enacted to try to discourage people from using puppy mills. So let's take a look at the Companion Animal Network.
Training has only a small influence, but he's got to be good with kids. And he can't be food aggressive, and he shouldn't pull when walked. Yeah. After all, Junior's going to have to take over some of these chores. You're telling me that these things are not trainable and they may be genetically determined? You can't know that in advance? All right, my wife and I will think about it. We'll talk about it. Thank you for your advice.
Well, do they have what we want?
It's going to be more complicated than we figured. They said that if things don't work out, that we'll have a difficult time finding a place for it, and we may have to take it to a shelter. This is a 10 or 15-year commitment.
Oh. Well, you know, it sounds like they don't have what we want, and they're just making excuses to give us what we don't want. I know. Let's go to a breeder or a pet shop, and then if we pay for it, we're bound to get what we want. And then, if it doesn't work out, it'll be easy to have it adopted because it'll be a purebred.
I've heard a lot about...
If you're just joining us, we are watching a little play that's acting out. This was from a public access show that was trying to discourage people from using puppy mills. And what we have here are an actor and an actress who are portraying, I think, a younger couple, because you'll see they have a baby as well, as they are trying to consider where to get their dog from. So let's check back in here on the Companion Animals Network.
Bad things about pet shops and breeders.
Well, we'll go to a good one.
If you insist.
Come on in. We got a special sale on dogs for you today.
We want a dog that doesn't grow.
Oh, you're lucky. We're a licensed AKC dealer, and therefore we can guarantee you everything we sell.
I didn't know that AKC licensed dealers, or I didn't know they could guarantee anything.
See, the puppy has to be good with Junior and trainable in many ways.
Junior, oh, what a gorgeous boy. What a beautiful boy.
You really think so?
Oh, I have just the right dog for you.
See, I told you we'd find what we
Come
wanted.
here, Poochie. Poochie, come here, come here. Come here. Oh. There you go.
Oh, isn't that nice? You see, we found the one we wanted. What do you think, darling?
Yeah, well...
This Pooch comes from a champion bloodline, and he's very trainable.
Is he house trained?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Is he a pure breed? I know, I've heard about the phony papers some of you people use to fool people.
No, not this dog, not this dog.
Does he have a good temperament?
Oh, of course.
Does he give his paw when asked?
Not only that, but he'll get you your pipe and slippers as well.
How do you know all this if he's always been in this kind of a confined environment in a cage?
Oh, stop with all the questions already. He's ours. He's the one we want. He's adorable.
I don't know. Pick-a Pals said that their dogs are living in homes, and that way they could guarantee their personality, their habits, and their genetic temperament. But this, shouldn't we look at some of the other dogs they have here? Maybe we can find an adult who has the personality traits we're looking for.
I'll make you an offer you can't refuse because you have such a lovely baby. This dog goes for $900, but I'm not going to charge you $900, not $875, not $850, not $825, but $800 because I like him.
Oh, that's so kind. Isn't he nice, so trustworthy? Here, you take the baby.
All right, you pay him.
Yes, I'll pay him.
You won't regret this. You won't regret this.
Sure of it.
You'll enjoy this dog for as long as you live, and Junior will grow up and really enjoy it too.
Oh, I know.
Just give me your money and I'll count it out. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
You're making a bargain
that's
that
all of
you
it.
won't refuse, that you won't get, you will never forget, and this dog will be with you for many years
Oh,
and give you many years
He's just
of enjoyment.
lovely. Just lovely.
Okay. Enjoy, enjoy,
You're so sweet.
and come back many more times.
Yes, yes. Isn't that sweet? Now, Junior has a companion. Look, Junior, your own little baby. Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, we're going to have a
200,
wonderful time. Oh, just
600,
lovely.
800. Oh, there's a sucker born every minute.
So if you're just joining us, we are watching the Pet Companion Network. This was a public access show that had two actors. Well, actually, there was a third actor there operating the pet store. And they were trying to convince us viewers to not go to a puppy mill to get a dog. So this couple just picked up their dog at the pet shop puppy mill, and they're now going home with their dog. Hi, everyone who is joining us. Josh, Lisa Sante, Kim Wan, Dom Majori Chipola on tour currently in Chicago, watching backstage from the Metro. Awesome. Hey, Dom. Thundar X, Paul Brueggemann, we mentioned, I think, before. Flavio Delgado, also from Chicago. And Michael Tamaro, who is saying, this is a great value, Eli Wallach and Julie Harris. Yes, not too far from that. So let's go back and see what happens once they bring this pet home from the puppy mill.
I can't take it anymore. He's chewed up my best shoes. He won't be housebroken, and he runs around like a neurotic maniac.
It's all your fault. You wouldn't take Pick-a Pal's advice when they told you it's like playing Russian roulette, and 80% of the dogs who are picked like this at random wind up having problems like this.
My fault. My fault. Oh, we work on something together. We decide together, and then when it doesn't work out, it's my fault. I didn't hear you objecting too much.
Well, I was just going along. God knows once you made up your mind, nothing's ever gonna change it.
How can you say that? I try so hard to be a team player.
All right, don't cry. Maybe it isn't all your fault. Maybe that salesman at the pet shop was just telling us what we wanted to hear just to make a sale.
Oh, so what are we going to do now?
I guess we'll just have to take it to a shelter.
Oh, the poor dog. He'll be killed in just a few days.
After all that money we spent, what a waste.
I know. Let's call Pick-a-Pal. Maybe they have a better idea. Here, you talk to me.
All right, maybe that's not such a bad idea. Pick-a-Pal, my name is Bernard. We have a 3-month-old dog, and he's driving us up a wall. We're at our wits' end. We're going to have to take it to a shelter. We want you to take the dog from us so it wouldn't be killed. I know you warned us not to go to a breeder or a pet store, but what's done is done. Now you're going to take that dog from us? What kind of group are you? This animal needs your help and you're refusing. Well, screw you.
So what'd they say?
They say they can only guarantee the dogs that come from them.
Oh.
If it had come from them, they would have taken it back at any time.
God.
What good does it do the dog now? This dog needs help, and now he's got to go to the shelter and be killed. What difference would it make to them if they took one more animal back?
But don't you see, they must get hundreds of calls a month for dogs to be taken in, and they can't take all of them to call. My gosh, if one person asked for an exception, they'd have to make all the exceptions.
Well, I guess we'll just have to take it to the shelter.
But I'll have nightmares. I will have been responsible for the killing of the unnecessary killing of an innocent being. We've got to do something else. We cannot do that.
Then keep the dog. You've made the choice. It's the dog or me. You want the dog? I'm out of here. That's it.
Oh. Oh.
And there you have it. That was the Companion Animals Network. And Mac Banks has joined us and asked, "Is this acting?" Mac, I hope that was acting. I don't think that was early reality TV. I think it was an acting scene to try to teach us the evils of using a puppy mill. Let's see. Adam Droid has joined us, says, "Evening, Rich. Looking forward to another history lesson. Hope you and your dog are doing well." Yes, everything's fine here. Matthew Fuller pointed out that scene we just watched was a script by Henry Miller, which is shocking to me. I didn't realize that Henry Miller had written anything like that. So thanks for filling us in on that, Matthew. Mac Banks is saying, "Can we see part 2?" Mac, that was the whole play, the whole little playlet, I guess you might call it. Lisa Sante saying she was giving Ruth Gordon vibes. Absolutely. Anyone that might have watched, I think it was last week, maybe on the Dick Rothman show, among the guests was the woman that acted in that scene. So there was a lot of crossover in this public access world. And speaking of which, the next thing we're going to look at, oh, and by the way, we have the super chat up and running. So if you are willing and able to join in the super chat and help contribute toward the digitizing of all these many VHS tapes from my collection, please do so. A lot of you have contributed in the past in the super chat, and it's much appreciated. So Dirk Vandenberg is saying hello from New Zealand. It's the middle of the workday here, and as much as I want to watch, I've got a meeting to go to. Looking forward to watching this later tonight. All right, Dirk, thank you for checking in, and hope you enjoy this later on the replay. Bag of Donuts has joined us. Yes, I made it. And here we go. The next thing we're going to look at. So there were a lot of live call-in shows on public access in New York. And this screening process wasn't like a screening process that you would have had calling into other TV shows on network, or if you were calling into even a radio show, a national radio show, or a local show in your hometown. There was always a very careful screening process, but that didn't really exist as much in the world of public access. So what you would have inevitably would be a lot of crank callers. And some of the people that hosted public access shows were just so happy to talk with anybody, and some of them even got a kick out of the calls that would come in. However, there were some people that didn't enjoy getting crank phone calls. And despite the best efforts, increased diligence in trying to screen, sometimes crank calls would get through. So we're going to watch a compilation of a show called Dazzle Unlimited. And this was a guy who was pretty uptight. He gets a couple of crank phone calls, which may or may not have been done by me. Let's take a look at some Dazzle Unlimited.
This is nomination of Zoe Baird.
Here we go.
In light of her hiring illegal aliens fit? And how does his continuing to support her for that position fit with those ethics standards? I don't understand that, do you?
Well, I was wondering if your mustache would tickle my cock if I were to...
No, I don't think it would. But I think you deserve whatever you get elsewhere. Now, let's take a look at the New York Post headline. This is a live show tonight, and you're welcome to call in with your views, if they're legitimate, of course, on issues that may concern us all in the world. By legitimate, of course, I mean, please, no obscene calls. You're just ridiculous and a waste of everybody's time. Again, I'm not inviting obscene calls. Please, none of those calls invited tonight or any other night. But I'm just kind of commenting on what seems to be going on in the world, and maybe you've got some thoughts about that. Hello?
Please lick my balls.
And there are people who obviously have thoughts. It's very strange. It's as though there are people who, some people can handle this kind of discussion without a problem. And then there are those who seem to feel that, well, put it this way. Mention the word sex or mention the word porno. And it's as though some people think, oh my goodness, all of a sudden I have to be crazy. All of a sudden, oh my goodness, I heard the word. Oh, I can't hold myself back. And it's nuts. I mean, I can't believe, it is so immature, for sure. Right at this hour, as it happens, and you're probably all watching other channels, all those of you who are at all tuned to what's going on in the world, I based that estimation on the two previous calls that were a little bit much. Thank you very much for your call. I appreciate it.
Will you be on next? When would you be on again?
Well, every week, every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. on this channel, channel 35. Not always a call-in, but sometimes.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, to that last caller, I thank you very much for a very intelligent, perceptive call. And to the other callers tonight, no thanks, who did get through, who managed to get through with their lunacies. And to those of you who have been watching, I wish you a good evening. The studio. We have a phone.
So this was 1993 and 94, around this period. If you're just joining, we are watching a show called Dazzle Unlimited that was on public access in New York. This guy was pretty serious. He would like to talk about current events, and he would take phone calls. But as you can see from this compilation, he was getting a lot of crank phone calls, which may or may not have been done by me. Mr. Spalletta is asking, was this Ron Jeremy? He actually reminds me of David Lockery from Pink Flamingos, right? The guy who claimed to be the filthiest man alive. He just resembles him to me. I feel, he embodies him. Anyway, so we're going to go back and watch just a little more. This was another week of Dazzle Unlimited, in which he was continuing to get some crank calls.
Phone call. I'll take that in just a second. We have President Clinton having just lost today his candidate for replacement for Secretary of Defense, Les Aspin, who had bowed out under a lot of pressure and under great criticism, but who had agreed to stay on the phone stay on the. I'm trying to say is to stay in office, and the technical director Andy walks through the studio saying, "You have a call, but I don't know. You have a call, but I don't know." So I'm saying on the phone. Whatever.
It got to a point where you saw he just slipped there and mentioned like phone out of nowhere. He was so on edge about who these callers were. He really wanted to get some legit calls, but it just wasn't happening. Let's go back.
It might be. Let's take that call. Hello.
Hello. I think it's important that you take a scientific approach to measuring earthquakes, to predicting earthquakes. You cannot think of things like animal behavior and what. You need to look at it rationally.
Well, now, are you familiar with this point that I was raising purely from what I said, or had you heard about it elsewhere as well, perhaps?
Well, no, I had heard it first from you, but I also was wondering, would you lick my puppy?
It's very interesting. I gave this guy a little bit of rope. I can tell when someone's putting on a phony accent, and I can tell when a person is ignorant and about to come across with the kind of remark that I cut this guy off from the phone so that he could not continue that remark. Again, the studio number for legitimate calls is on the screen. So the less government, the better. This country is founded on individualism, freedom of choice by the individual, and responsibility of the individual. That's what makes Americans rugged. That's what made America great. Take that away, what have you got? It's not America. We have a call here. I have no idea, sir or ma'am, what you're going to talk about. And I'm not sure what I've been talking about, so let's find out. Hello?
Howard Stern licked my ball.
And it's the same guy. It's the same guy who... it's nice to know somebody's watching. It's a shame it's a person who's a little mentally unbalanced. But the rest of you maybe get a bit of an idea of... Unfortunately, in this world, not everybody... well, I'm not going to say any more about it. Now, let me switch to another topic here.
So there you have it. Dazzle Unlimited. Yeah, it was interesting because, most public access shows, like I said earlier, they would accept these calls and would just kind of laugh along with it. But this guy was having none of that. If you're just joining us, we are watching classic public access shows from the 80s and 90s. And we also have the Super Chat open. So if you are able to contribute to the Super Chat in helping us to digitize all this amazing footage, it is most welcome. There are lots and lots of VHS tapes with all these classic shows, and very slowly in the process of digitizing all this stuff, which is consuming. So anyway, let's go now to, we're actually going to leave New York in this one and go to Grand Rapids, Michigan for the great Daryl Nathan entertainment show. Some of you might have seen this. I think someone mentioned in the chat a week or two ago that, let's have some great Daryl Nathan. He was a kind of a local hero in Grand Rapids, Michigan, with his great public access shows. And this is a kind of a rare one because I've seen some of the episodes online, but I've never seen this particular one. So let's take a look at the great Daryl Nathan, and hopefully you'll love him as much as I do.
Entertainment show, the great Daryl Nathan entertainment show. Woo! Well, here we are once again. Yeah, part 2 of the great Daryl Nathan's entertainment show. The great Daryl. All right. This one get a little differently there for you. All right, we're moving on. I have a request tonight to give you a little taste of my brand new album. But unfortunately, I won't be able to. But you just have to wait till the brand new album is released. So I'm gonna give you some old requests for tonight. It's called Amazing Creations.
By the way, if you're just joining us, we're watching the great Daryl Nathan Entertainment Show. This was from Grand Rapids, Michigan in the mid-90s. I'm reading your comments here. Echo Manser says, I sincerely mean this, not even joking. This is incredible. Yeah, he was a real original. And all these songs are songs that he, did himself, composed himself. He showed up at this public access studio to take classes and learning how to work the equipment, and sits down and starts doing this. And everyone in the place was just like, where did this guy come from? And they encouraged him to do more shows. And thankfully, he did several episodes in the mid-90s. Want to thank for participating in Super Chat, Kim Wan, saying, love what you do. Thank you, Kim. Really appreciate your support. Bag of Donuts says, so happy to have these hilarious blasts from the past. Public TV was the Wild West of television. Keep them coming. And David is a girl. All right on, Bag of Donuts. And thank you for contributing to the Super Chat, which is helping us digitize all these amazing shows. Teresa Ianelli is saying, is this live? Well, Teresa, if it's not live, that's just magical what I just did. I just named you in the chat at the same time. Yes, we're live. So if you have questions, Teresa, or anything you want to add into the chat, please feel free. Let's go back and watch some more of the great Daryl Nathan Entertainment Show.
Amazing creations. Look at the birds flying high. Look at the eagles in the sky. Look how beautiful they are. Some are red, some are blue. Look at the crows in the sky. Amazing creations. Look at the wonderful world. Look at the wonderful world. The beautiful waterfall, pretty green grass, wonderful palm trees. Have you ever looked around you? Everywhere you go, and when you wake up in the morning, see the sun shining That song was dedicated to one of my crew members, Michael. All right.
We are watching the great Daryl Nathan, and I see in the chat there's some chat about whether or not great Daryl Nathan is still alive. And unfortunately, we did lose the great Daryl Nathan. He was doing these shows in the 90s, mid-90s. He had stopped somewhere around 2000 and then just kind of retreated. He wasn't seen much, certainly wasn't doing these shows any longer. It's not really clear why he had stopped. I read somewhere that he had just worked with his family, had a church or something, and then he continued to work with them up until his death in 2020 at age 54 from diabetes, unfortunately. But yeah, we still have, thankfully, all his music that he left behind. And Bag of Donuts is saying in chat that it was a beautiful song, and I want this played at my funeral. I hear you, Bag of Donuts, and I'll tell you what: if you go before I do, have stipulate in your will that you want me to sing the song, and I will come and I will sing it at your funeral if things work out that way. Let's see, what else do we have here? Echomancer says he even opted for that red mic cover. The sheer style of this man is off the charts. Yeah, he really, he was very unique, and he seemed very sincere and genuine and kind in his patter that he would say between his songs. So let's watch more of the great Daryl Nathan Entertainment Show. By the way, if you're just joining us, we are watching classic public access clips from the 80s and 90s. This particular one is from the mid-90s. I want to thank everyone who is participating in the Super Chat. That would be Kim Wan, the Bag of Donuts, and Elvis Frank 1234 just contributed to the Super Chat. Thank you, Elvis Frank, saying keep up the great work. Very cool. Glad you're enjoying it, Elvis Frank, and thank you for participating in the Super Chat to help in our digitizing of all this material. All right, let's go back and see the great Daryl Nathan.
We're moving on to some more request songs. Yeah. I have another song from my latest recording. I feel the warmness all around me. I feel warmness all around me. I feel love getting stronger. I don't know what to say about it. I don't know what to do about it, baby. Darling, my sweetheart, my wicked love looks so good to me, sweet darling. I didn't want to say nothing true, but just couldn't help myself. Just as it was on my mind. Tell me, baby, that you feel the way I feel, baby, darling, my sweetheart. You look so good to me, sweet darling, baby, darling, my sweetheart, my wicked love. Looking so good to me, sweet darling. I didn't want to say nothing to you, but I just couldn't help myself. Just to say what's on my mind. Tell me, baby, that you feel the way I feel, baby, darling, my sweetheart, my wicked love. Looks so good to me, sweet darling. I feel a warmness all around me.
All right, we're watching the great Daryl Nathan, taking a look at some of your comments here. John Malloy is saying, is Beyond Vaudeville back with new shows? Love the replays on YouTube. You boys rock. Thank you, John Malloy. No new shows at the moment, but who knows? Maybe. We'll see. Glad you're enjoying the replays, though. Mr. Spaletta says, you know, we joke, but I got to say, he did have some great talent. I agree with you, Mr. Spaletta. I would readily go see a show with the great Daryl Nathan. C. Scars says, this sun is lit. Han Dane says, this is a banger. BKG is saying, for outsider art, this is pretty great. Imagine what it'd sound like with good production and a few more instruments. Yeah, I'm with you, BKG. C. Scars also says it's Doors meets Al Green. That's an interesting way of describing him, C. Scars. Tris Megalos, I want to say thank you for contributing to the super chat. Cheers. This is next level entertainment. Tris Megalos, I'm glad you're enjoying this. Part of the joy of presenting these is sharing with you artists that you might not have been familiar with, personalities you might not have been familiar with, who were doing some amazing stuff on public access in the 80s and 90s. John Malloy is saying Beyond Vaudeville was done in New York City. No, correct. Beyond Vaudeville was recorded in New York City. I usually show New York public access, but I do have some key public access shows from elsewhere around the country in the 80s and 90s, and this is one of them. The Great Daryl Nathan Show was from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and thankfully we have this show to watch today. Dom Majori Chipola has contributed to the super chat. Thank you, Dom. Much appreciated. Dom says, great stuff as usual. Thank you and keep up the great work. Yeah, happy to, Dom. Happy to share all this with you and everybody. So let's take a look. Han Dane is saying, are there any more public access channels other than PBS, or is it dead? Han, actually, PBS is not this stuff. This is public access, which was something that the cable companies were required by federal law when the Cable Act was made for all the cable systems, that cable systems would have to carry public access channels that would provide programming that was made by people in the community. So these public access channels do still exist on cable systems, including in New York and elsewhere. However, you know, in a world of YouTube and in a world of disintegrating cable systems, because everyone is going streaming, and you know, these channels are not what they once were. Skyscraper Television contributed to the super chat. Wow, thank you everybody doing that tonight. Skyscraper is saying, I'm really enjoying discovering these episodes of Beyond Vaudeville and Oddville. Thanks for the mention, Rich. Yeah, Skyscraper, thank you for watching the Beyond Vaudevilles and Oddvilles and watching us, joining us here and watching these public access shows with us. Yes, just everyone who has participated in the super chat: Kim Wan, The Bag of Donuts, Elvis Frank 1234, Tris Megalos, Dom Majori Chipola, and Skyscraper Television. Thank you all. And let's go back and watch some more of the great Daryl Nathan Entertainment Show doing some of his original songs.
Yeah. I'm just going to add this little verse in there. Now, this is not on my latest album, but I just throwing this in. I feel the warmness all around me. I feel your love and tender care everywhere, everywhere. I feel the warmness all around me. I feel your loving, tender care. La 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 la. Everywhere. I'm gonna dedicate this song to one of my other crew members. Her name is Christian. That's right. Her name is Christian. Her name is Christian. She looks so pretty, pretty smile, worthwhile, pretty eyes, give you a shocking surprise, pretty long hair, so pretty and fair. Her name is Christian. Thank you for taking my picture tonight. Thank you. Thank you. All right. That's a little dedication to one of my staff members here. She's so nice enough to take my picture tonight, so I thought I would dedicate a little song to her. Thank you, Christian, for being so nice. I like to also recognize my other staff members. You see this beautiful, pretty decorations here? See these beautiful, pretty lights up here? Well, you know who done that? My staff here at WKTV, Channel 50. They done a fantastic, wonderful, beautiful job. All this special effects that you see is done by WKTV, Channel 50. All of these special angles and special spots that you see every now and then is done by WKTV Channel 50. You say you want to be on television? Well, I'll tell you what you can do. You can come on down here and take some classes. And hey, who knows? Your chance will come soon. just like I done. Come on down to WKTV Channel 50, all right? And check them out. All right, we're moving on.
If you just joined us, we are watching the Great Daryl Nathan entertainment show from Grand Rapids, Michigan, back in the 90s. What a talent. Just love this guy. And I'm glad to see so many of you enjoying him in chat as well. Matthew Fuller sees a comparison to the crazy world of Arthur Brown. That's an interesting note, Matthew. It amazes me, the cultural references that you all come up with and see you have such an appreciation for the stuff that's a little more out there. Really does my heart warm. There was a question here about a follow-up question. Oh, from Mike C. Can you clarify? I'm under the understanding that each area, for example, New York City, New Jersey, Long Island, et cetera, had their own public access channels. That is absolutely correct. So, Mike, some people would send tapes of their shows to somewhere else in the country if they had like a relative or a friend so that they could air in more than one public access channel. But the public access channels were designed specifically for your local community. So your cable system would be, for the most part, featuring people in your community who were turning in tapes and or going live and putting on shows. There were some, there were like some racist outfits, that would at one point, there was like a Klan related show and they had like a network where they would distribute the tapes around the country to friends or, in these different places, so that they could have kind of a network of showing these shows. But for the most part, everything was like hyper local on these channels. Kim Wan saying, these tapes are an important piece of social and cultural history that need to be archived in museums. Well, Kim, at least they're being archived in our brains, right? Watching these. Josh Chase, thank you for participating in the super chat. Josh says, thanks so much for giving us this gold. Please keep it coming. I can't get enough. Josh, I'm glad you're enjoying these, and there's lots more to come. And thanks to you and others in the Super Chat for contributing, which goes toward digitizing yet more of these VHS videos that I have box loads of recording these shows off public access in the 80s and 90s, mostly in New York. Matthew Fuller is saying this better be his real hair. I'm sorry, Matthew, to tell you that the great Daryl Nathan did wear wigs. So that is not his real hair. Okay, and let's see. Han Dane says, I'm wondering, my wife is Haitian. She says it has to be a wig. Han, your wife is correct. It was a wig. And let's see. Scott Dog says, I can see myself wandering into a bar back then and enjoying his act. Yeah, that's true, Scott. It would be like, going into a bar and seeing the Del Rubio triplets, or, an act that was just a little bit off center, but thrilling and exciting nonetheless. And let's go back. Oh, wait, we have more contributions. Thank you, Chuck. Potosniak, thank you very much for your contribution to the Super Chat. Paul Brugerman, also, thank you, saying great job this week. Thanks, Paul. I'm glad you're enjoying it. There's just so much more where this came from. And thanks to your Super Chat and those of others, we'll just keep doing more and more. And let's see if there's anything else we need to hit before. Ray's Oner says, I also have a bunch of VHS with random stuff from the 90s. Well, Ray's Oner, you probably should check them out because, I remember a lot of these clips, but every so often I'll see something and be like, whoa, I forgot about that one. So you might want to pop those VHS tapes in a machine and see what you've got. Okay, let's go back and watch some more of the Great Daryl Nathan Entertainment Show.
Rainbow, rainbow, going around the world. Rainbow, rainbow, going around the world. Rainbow, rainbow, going around the world. Looking so pretty. You got red, you got blue, you got white, you got green, you got yellow. I never saw a rainbow, it looks so beautiful. Never saw a rainbow, it looks so beautiful. You should look in the sky sometime. Every time I see a rainbow going around the world. Every time it rains, a rainbow comes out the sky. Oh, wonderful, oh, beautiful rainbow. Oh, wonderful, oh, beautiful rainbow. Rainbow, rainbow, going around the world. All right, we're moving on. That was an old request song. I thought I'd sing some request songs for tonight. All right. We're moving on.
The suspense is killing me. What will the great Daryl Nathan play next of his original songs? We're watching the great Daryl Nathan from Grand Rapids, Michigan. These shows were done in the mid-90s. Michael Chamorro is asking, have you ever reached out to others who may have collected local access shows on VHS? Michael, I wasn't part of that network, but, you know, interestingly, I would hear over the years before Beyond Vaudeville went out, you know, on YouTube, people would tell me that they knew about the show from out of New York because they traded tapes with other people. So, there, I think a network did exist out there, and maybe still does, of people swapping public access shows, but these are just all things, you know, that I recorded off air in New York. Actually, this one in particular is not, because this was from Michigan. But for the most part, most of the shows were shows that I just recorded in the 80s and 90s in New York. Scott Allen is asking, when did public access unfortunately end? It's still going, Scott. I don't keep up with it the way I did. In Los Angeles, public access was never really quite. Public access actually did have its stars, and we will look at some of those at some point. But in New York, it was just really in your face on the cable systems, these 4 channels around the clock. John Malloy is asking, who was my all-time favorite guest? John, I don't even know where to begin with that, with Beyond Vaudeville and Oddville. I can definitely say that Tiny Tim ranked very high on the list. Getting to meet Tiny Tim and get to know him a bit, and that was certainly high on my list. And the other guy, Izzy Fertel, his protege, getting to meet him and getting to know him. Those were very thrilling for me. But there were so many that it would be unfair for me to kind of single out anyone in particular. Remy Winter has joined us saying, hey. Ray's Wunner says, been binge watching the vaudeville shows. Glad to see I'm still around. I'm glad to see I'm still around too, Ray's Wunner. But thank you for watching those. And Top Rock, who I guess is joining us a little late, is asking what became of this person we're watching, the great Daryl Nathan. Top Rock, we were saying earlier that the great Daryl Nathan is no longer with us, unfortunately, had died from complications from diabetes, but thankfully we still have him here on video and can watch him. Han Dane is asking, when did he pass away? It was back in 2020, and he was 54 years old. Let's see. I'm just checking to see if there's anything else we need to. Scott Dog is saying, surprised I haven't seen this guy before this. Oh, well, Scott, I'm glad you're seeing him now, the great Daryl Nathan. Those of you who have participated so far in the Super Chat, thank you very much for providing your support so we can digitize all these VHS tapes. Thanks to Kim Wan, the Bag of Donuts. Thanks to Elvis Frank 1234. Thanks to Tris Megalos. Thanks to Dom Majuri Chipola. Thanks to Skyscraper Television. Thanks to Josh Chase, Chuck Potosniak, and Paul Brugman. Thank you all for participating in the Super Chat. Okay, let's go back and see some more of the great Daryl Nathan Entertainment Show.
Those of you that's having a special occasion or whatever your event may be, this song is dedicated to those of you that are having special occasions. It's called Special Occasions. Special occasions like this comes every month. Of the year. Woo. It can be an anniversary. It can be a birthday. It can be a concert. It can be a convention. Oh yeah. It can be a festival. Oh, yeah. It can be a fashion show. It can be a graduation. It can be a wedding. Oh, yeah. It can be a banquet. Uh-huh. 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 Ooh. Ooh. Special occasions like this. Listen, it can be a baby shower. Don't forget the little babies. It can be a luncheon. Oh, yeah. It can be a prom. Don't forget the high school prom now. Uh-huh. Special occasions like this. Comes every month of the year. Of the year. Special occasions comes every month of the year. All right. Moving on. Woo-hoo. Woo. Y'all have to excuse me. Every now and then, I feel like turning loose. But I know I'm in the studio tonight, so we're going to try to keep it down. All right, we're moving on. Here's another song that I'm going to dedicate to all the young people. It's called Love in the Afternoon. Check it out. One day I was in the park, out after dark. All at once something got in my mind. It was love in the afternoon. It's so powerful, I can't do nothing about it. Something got a hold on me. Woo! I can't stop it. Girl, you better look out. I can't control myself no longer. I tried and I tried, it's just too strong. You know, sometimes I think about you, darling. You do strange things to my mind. Girl, you're so fine. One day I was in the park, out after dark. All at once something got in my mind. It was love in the afternoon. It's so powerful, can't do nothing about it. Something got a hold on me. Woo! I can't stop it. Girls, you better look out there. I can't control myself no longer. I tried and tried, it's just too strong. You know, sometimes I think about you, darling. You do strange things to my mind. Girl, you look so fine. Love in the afternoon.
If you're just joining, we are watching the Great Daryl Nathan Entertainment Show from Grand Rapids, Michigan. This was John Malloy's asking what year. This was in the 1990s. And Longevity says Daryl and Wesley Willis would have been a hell of a double bill. Wow. Yeah, that would have been special, Longevity. Let's see. What else do we have here? Adam Droid is asking, can we get a whole episode of him? We're watching an episode. This was the second show that Great Daryl Nathan had made. And as for doing an entire show dedicated to him, an entire TV watch party, I try to just mix it up so everyone can see a little bit of everything, because not everything is for everybody, right? So I like to try to mix it up a bit. Top Rock is asking Kenneth Keith Kallenbach. I guess this music seems a little reminiscent of Kenneth Keith's work. Top Rock, I actually have, I believe, a public access show that Kenneth Keith had done on VHS, which has to be digitized. So hopefully we'll be getting around to that eventually. Which, by the way, everyone who has participated in the Super Chat, thank you very much, because that all goes toward digitizing all this VHS footage of these classic public access shows. So thank you, everyone who has participated in the Super Chat. That would be Kim Wan, The Bag of Donuts, Elvis Frank 1234, Tris Megalos, Dom Majuri Chipola, Skyscraper Television, Josh Chase, Chuck Potosniak, that gets me every time, and Paul Brueggemann. Thank you very much, all of you, for participating in the Super Chat. So let's go back now and let me just see if there was anything else here in the comments. Chris Bungo is saying he really was great, very talented guy. This channel had some pretty good audio equipment and a mixer who knew what she was doing, much better than what we saw in New York City. Yeah, Chris, it varies. In the New York City public access studios, basically, eventually, the public access studios in New York were well equipped and financed by the cable systems. However, like when we were doing our show, you would go to a privately owned studio, and there were a couple of them in Manhattan, and you know, they were very understaffed. They were using old equipment. So yeah, the quality was not always quite what you get with something like this. Let's see. What else do we have here? Ryan Fleming says the Great Daryl Nathan is for everybody. I agree, Ryan. Yeah, how do you not like the Great Daryl Nathan? Let's go back and watch. I think this is probably wrapping up. It's toward the end of the episode. Here we go.
I feel my heart beating real fast. All right, moving on now. Woo! All right, we're gonna let that alone. All right, we better go on. All right, here's another old song. You belong to the stars. You belong to the stars. You look so wonderful, that's why I say wonderful things about you, girl. You make me think positively. You get to wondering what's going on in your mind. I said to myself, you belong to the stars. You belong to the stars. Walk like a movie star. Talk like a movie star. Name in lights looks so bright and pretty. I look at you, girl. You look like a movie star. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You belong to the stars. I love you, girl. I need you every minute. You belong to the stars.
Yeah. Wow. How about that? The great Daryl Nathan Entertainment Show. Greg A is saying in the chat, this is great, and was making a comparison to Rick James. And Mr. Midnight says, reminds me of Sun Ra. Yeah, this guy was really special. And I'm glad that, his shows still exist there, because if you're joining us late, we did lose the great Daryl Nathan. Unfortunately, he died at age 54 in 2020 from complications from diabetes, and he's no longer with us, but we do have his music, and how phenomenal. Scott Dog says, at times it does feel like an old Eddie Murphy sketch. You know, Scott, as I watch him, I would think like, boy, wouldn't it be great if Eddie Murphy decided to do a movie like on the great Daryl Nathan? But then, you kind of have to have the whole story to go along with it. And, I don't know, maybe someday. We can only hope. Thank you. Let's see who else has joined us here. Let's see. Raimi Winter says, my next girl is going to get that song on a tape. Well, won't she be lucky? And Scott Dog says, get down with your funkalicious self. Love this. Nathan was awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so far, everyone who has joined us in the Super Chat. Much appreciated. Your contributions go toward digitizing all this amazing footage. Kim Wan, The Bag of Donuts, Elvis Frank 1234, Tris Megalos, Dom Majuri Chipola, Skyscraper Television, Josh Chase, Chuck Potosniak. I got it, Chuck. I got it. And Paul Brueggemann. Thank you all for participating in the Super Chat. Okay, so let's take a look now at what shall we take a look at? This was a show called Goddesses. Goddesses was a show that featured and celebrated larger women, and they would have and larger women and the men who appreciated and adored them. So let's take a look now at a clip from Goddesses, which was a weekly public access show in New York back in the 1990s.
Model is Carol.
So we have Carol. And where is Carol from?
Carol lives in Westchester. She happens to be my best friend. We've gone back a lot of years as well. Carol.
Oh, we have Frank helping us out too over here. Hi, Frank.
And she's wearing the PVC lace-up teddy. Goes up to 4X.
Wow, it's a beautiful piece.
It's a beautiful piece.
You can even wear that with a skirt and a suit jacket. That would go nice if you wanted to wear it out.
It's a beautiful piece.
Absolutely.
It adapts very well to wearing out.
I think about that.
Slip the bottom and hem it and wear it with slacks.
Yeah, I could see that in a mini skirt. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it. I'll get bold.
I've got the mini skirt.
Yeah? I could go for something like that.
The mini skirt goes with it beautifully.
What do you think, Bill, about this piece of lingerie?
It's very sexy.
Yeah. Anne-Marie, it's cute, isn't it?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it myself. Well, hey, maybe we'll get one for Christmas. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. So, Joyce, it's very interesting. I think I might get one. Does that come in red, too?
That particular one, no, it does not come in red, but I'm going to show you some of the pieces that do come in other colors in a minute.
Oh, I love lingerie shows.
I would really love to show you, too.
Oh, you want a model,
Carol.
too? Oh, hi, Carol.
Oh, this is our...
Oh, this is pretty.
This is called Chianti. They call this color Chianti.
Oh, that is
nice. This
comes
in...
Can you just open that robe a little bit?
Also
black. Look at the middle. It's very shiny.
Oh,
that is so pretty.
This was the beauty of public access TV, of course, is that unlike other shows at the time, the commercial shows at the time, like Jerry Springer, where there would be hooting and hollering and catcalling from the audience during a segment like this, these were just people in this, subculture that were, celebrating. And without all of that stuff, Michael Chamorro saying, I have the same physique. And Skyscraper Television is saying that Leonard Nimoy loved the large ladies. I didn't know that, Skyscraper, about Leonard Nimoy. That's interesting to learn. Let's see. V11 is asking, what was edited out of the Beyond Vaudeville interview with the guy who broke into Yoko Ono's apartment? There was a jarring, abrupt cut in the YouTube upload. I'm not familiar with that, to be honest with you, V or 7. We very rarely would stop tape for anything at Beyond Vaudeville. And when Omer Travers was on, I might have to watch that back. It's been a long time since I saw that, but I'd be curious now what that might be that you're referring to. I don't believe that interview had been cut at all. I think he did a musical performance, and maybe we had to cut because he talked too long and we couldn't fit in his music performance. I don't know. That was an early show. I'm not sure. Let's see. Scott Dog says it's a peekaboo, one peek and boo. That's that old joke. That was an old Phyllis Diller joke. Let's see. And Mike J says, a nice example of public access allowing a community to find one another. They used to have in real life parties at a lounge on West 22nd Street. Oh, you're right, Mike J. They used to promote these parties that they would have from this show. You're absolutely correct. Okay, let's take a look back now at a little more of Goddesses.
It's such a pretty, pretty piece. I love this color. I believe it also comes in plum.
Is it in black also?
Black, plum, and Chianti, very creative name for this color, which is kind of an odd thing to me. It looks
I know, it
beautiful,
looks kind of like a fuchsia color, too.
Sort of a fuchsia.
Wow, imagine waiting for your loved one for dinner in that outfit in candlelight. That would be beautiful.
Absolutely, I love this piece.
She wears it well.
Very well.
Yeah.
Very, very well.
Well, Carol will look like all the men will be looking for you this week.
Single and available.
Uh-oh. Thank you, Carol. That was really pretty. I mean, they get better and better, all the pieces, and the women are gorgeous. And they're all goddesses. They're all big and beautiful ladies.
And there you have it. That was a little of Goddesses, which was a weekly show celebrating large women and the men who love them. If you're just joining us, we are watching classic public access clips from the 80s and 90s. Really appreciate everyone who is joining us here tonight or today, wherever you are in the world. One of the thrills of having Beyond Vaudeville and Oddville on YouTube is that we are just hearing from people all over the world. And it's awesome to think that this little show we did in New York is now reaching out all over the world like this. And if you are in other parts of the world, you're probably wondering what these shows are that we're looking at. These are from public access channels on local cable systems where anyone in the community who, had the initiative could put these shows on, and they would appear on the cable systems. Cesorde is checking in from Brazil. Awesome. Hey, Cesorde, I hope you're enjoying these shows, and awesome to have you joining from Brazil. And I think just actually, Cesorde, since you are checking in from Brazil, I think you would enjoy a little Margarita Pracatan, and I think we all would enjoy a little Margarita Pracatan. Margarita was actually from Cuba, and you might recognize her. She appeared on Beyond Vaudeville, and she became a bit of a sensation in the UK, thanks to Clive James, who had featured her on his show. So, we always knew Margarita Pracatan as this local public access personality who was very, very nice and fun. It was fun to have her on our live shows and on our Beyond Vaudeville show. But she eventually became this big sensation in England, in the UK, and Australia. And she ended up touring like late in her life, thanks to these popular Clive James shows that aired in the UK. So let's take a look at some Margarita Pracatan, as she would say. And this is the scroll. This is the scroll that you would see typically between shows.
I can sing you smile. You all I ever wanted. And my arms are open wide. 'Cause you know just what to say. And you know just what to do. And I wanna tell you so much. I love you. I long to see the sunlight in your hair and tell you time and time again how much I care. Sometimes I feel my heart will overflow. Hello, I just got to let you know, 'cause I wonder where you are and I wonder what you do. Are you somewhere feeling lonely? Or is someone loving you? Tell me how to bring your heart, 'cause I haven't got the blue. And I wanna tell you so much. I love you. I love you. Crazy. Crazy for feeling so lonely. I am crazy, crazy for trying. I am crazy for loving you. Crazy for feeling so lonely. I am crazy, crazy for feeling so blue. I know you love me as long as you want me, and then someday you leave me for somebody new. Worrying, why do I let myself so worry? Wondering, why in the world did I do? Crazy, for thinking that my love will hold you. I am crazy for crying, I am crazy for trying, I am crazy for loving you.
So we are watching the great Margarita Pracatan, as she used to call herself. Margarita was a very sweet woman. She worked by day selling men's underwear in a department store somewhere, and she started doing this public access show. Her family had left Cuba during the revolution when she was young, and she lived to the ripe old age of 89, and she passed away in 2020. As I was saying earlier, if you're just joining us, she really had a great story because late in her life, after doing these shows like this one you're watching here, she was discovered by this personality in London, a popular personality, Clive James, and he would feature her on his show. And as a result, she started becoming a little bit of a sensation in the UK and Australia as well. And she would tour and play clubs doing the kind of music you're watching right here. So it was kind of a great last chapter for this great Margarita Pracatan. Let's watch a little more of the great Margarita Pracatan.
Embrace me, my sweet embraceable you. Embrace me, you irrepressible you. Yes, one look at you, my heart got dizzy in me. You and you alone bring a dizzy in me. Hello, the many shot about you. Above all, I want my arms around you. Don't be naughty, baby. Come to Mama, do my sweet embrace for you. about you. Yeah, one look at you, my heart grows tipsy. You and you alone bring a dizzy me. I love all the many years about you. Above all, I want my years around you. Don't be naughty, baby. Come to Mama, do my sweet embrace. Say for you.
So we're watching Margarita Pracatan. I want to thank everyone who has participated so far in the super chat. It helps us digitize all this amazing footage of these public access shows from the 80s and 90s. So thank you to Kim Wan. Thank you to The Bag of Donuts. Thank you to Elvis Frank 1234. Thanks to Tris Megalos. Thanks to Dom Majori Chipola. Thanks to Skyscraper Television. Thanks to Josh Chase. Thanks to Chuck Potosniak. And thanks to Paul Brueggemann for all participating in the super chat tonight. Really appreciate your support. Lisa Sante is asking, was that a wig? Lisa, I don't know the answer to that, to be honest. I do know that Margarita always came very put together. She would always have her boa. I see there are comparisons being made to Charo and Paula Abdul. John Malloy even sees a little bit of Grace Jones in her. Yeah, it's she was special, and it's great that you all are appreciating her and seeing all these other great performers in her. Let's go get to where she speaks a little bit, because she's kind of doing a long medley here. Let's go. Here we go.
My heart, I give you my heart. I love you, I really love you. And that is what we have to do all the time, to love each other. Either if I am not with you, or the person is not with you, the spirit of that person, the soul, and everything is with you. You know, it's a power in our heart. You don't have to be with the person sometime. You think about the person, and those thinking, you know, those thoughts, sometimes they just go and they fly around. It's really nice. That happened to me all the time, you know, always.
So there you have a little taste of Margarita speaking, and you can see her on Beyond Vaudeville too as a guest. But when we would do live shows at Caroline's and elsewhere, Margarita would join us on occasion, and you know, she was just always so easy to work with. You know, some of the talent would have greater needs than others. You might guess who those might be, but Margarita was always very chill, very, you know, friendly, very easygoing, and it's a shame we've lost her. But she did live, as I said, to age 89 in 2020. She passed away. John Malloy is saying, wonder where she is from. She was originally Cuban, John Malloy. She was born in Cuba, and the family fled here. Maybe they were on the same boat with Desi Arnaz. Who knows? Greg A is saying, was she ever on the Love Boat? Well, Greg A, I'm guessing she wasn't. Like Charo was many a time, but that is a great loss that we don't have episodes of The Love Boat that we can watch with the great Margarita Pracatan. Anyway, that's what we've got for tonight. I just what have we looked at tonight? We watched the Companion Animals Network. We watched Dazzle Unlimited and the Crank phone calls. We watched the great Daryl Nathan. We saw a little bit of Goddesses and wrapped up with Margarita Pracatan. So I hope that you enjoyed tonight's show. I really thank everybody who participated in the super chat. I'm going to thank you again, because this helps us to digitize all this VHS. So Kim Wan, thank you. Bag of Donuts, Elvis Frank 1234, Tris Megalos, Dom Majuri Chipola, Skyscraper Television, Josh Chase, Chuck Potosniak, and Paul Brugman. Thank you all for participating. Let's see what else we've got. Would David Green ever be open to doing a regular Q&A episode here? I'd gladly donate $20 for that. Thanks again. Skyscraper Television, David is going to do what David is going to do. I'll do my best to try to keep bringing him on, but we'll see. I will as I can, I promise. Tris Megalos is saying, do you stream weekly? Yes. The plan is to do this every Monday, as long as the support is there for it, and everyone keeps showing up, then we'll keep doing these on Monday. I have box loads of VHS tapes recorded off public access in the 80s and 90s, and happy to share them. It's just a matter of digitizing them and getting around to it. John Malloy is saying, whatever happened to the underdog gal? That would be the great Suzanne Muldowney. Suzanne is doing well, John, and you can watch some of my catch-up interviews with her at Beyond Vaudeville on YouTube. I'm sure we'll get around to another one of those before long. Mr. Spalletta is saying, can you do some clips from Stairway to Stardom next time? Mr. Spalletta, I haven't done that yet, only because, Frank Massey was actually on Beyond Vaudeville, and obviously I loved his show. But I feel like, his clips have just been so exposed, and people have an awareness of them, but maybe not. I don't know. I just know there's a lot of his stuff on the internet because Mitch Friedman did a really great job of getting to know Frank and archiving all of Frank's footage. So that's why we have all that great footage of Stairway to Stardom that's out there. But maybe we can get around to it, and I can pick out some of my favorites someday. I have a big collection, obviously, of Stairway to Stardom shows. And Greg A is saying, but today is Tuesday. Yes, Greg A, you are correct. This is not Monday when I said we're doing these live streams. And that's because Monday was St. Patrick's Day. So I thought, rather than do it on St. Patrick's Day, let's just push to Tuesday. So it'll be most Mondays. How's that? Matthew's saying Tiny Tim on public access. That would be a good episode. Tiny Tim did do some public access, although a lot of that I think might be already out there on YouTube. D. Barker saying, thanks for another rewind. Great stuff. Well, thank you, D. Barker, for joining us, and much appreciated that you joined us here to watch. And Tobias Curve. Wow. Okay, Tobias, I'm going to try this. Tobias Keverkazito. I think that's the name. Is saying, Frank, what's up? Tobias, are you just joining us? You're going to have to catch up and watch the replay of this episode, and join us next Monday when we're back with more classic public access clips from the 80s and 90s. Scott Dog saying, love your performance of Papa Loves Mambo. Thank you, Scott Dog. That actually won that episode of the game show. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. It'll be too confusing to explain it. Tobias is saying, where is Gretchen Wiener? I've shown all my friends that show with Grandpa Munster. Tobias, Gretchen Wiener is no longer with us, I'm sorry to say. And she had passed away fairly young, and so we didn't even get to have her on Oddville. But there's, fortunately, a lot of Beyond Vaudeville footage that exists of her. By the way, the Etsy shop for Beyond Vaudeville with T-shirts like this and other memorabilia should be open before the month is out. The shop kind of comes and goes, so just stay tuned to our social media to know when it's back open. And which reminds me, be sure to follow, like, and subscribe on YouTube at Beyond Vaudeville, on Instagram at Beyond Vaudeville, and on Facebook at Beyond Vaudeville. And spread the word. Keep spreading the word, because it keeps growing and more people are watching these shows and responding to us. So, and that's in part thanks to all of your work spreading the word. So anyway, that's it for now. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have a great night, great day, wherever you are, and a great week.